Good morning. Can you say good morning?
Good morning.
Good morning.
My heart rages around like an ocean in my head.
Something to drink? You want some water?
No.
Oh.
I want tea.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay, watch out.
Wait for the low. Wait for the low.
I like yellow. Hold on, gotta put the lid on. Now you can do it. Good job. There you go. There you go. I'll make my coffee okay. Careful with this corner.
Okay. Good morning.
That's yummy.
Good morning.
Good morning is right. Early morning.
Early morning. How do you do? Apply the pipe. I'm taking back. Love people, love people, we are you. Here I am,
There are so many things that I left unsaid. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that is not reality. If you are echoing around inside these parallel dimensions all alone, now I'll find you in my dreams.
Hi guys.
Favorite bronzer ever is this butter bronzer by Physicians Formula. It's affordable, and honestly, like, I've used it. I have the Hoola bronzer. I have a whole thing of the Hoola bronzer from Benefit, and I always go back to this one. I have two different colors. So I have the light bronzer, and then I have just the bronzer, and then I know they have a deep one too, so if you're darker skin toned, these are just so amazing and so affordable. And sometimes Ulta or like CVS or Walgreens will run specials of like buy one get one half or buy one get one free. So I always look out for those and stock up because they are my absolute favorite.
My heart rages around like an ocean in my head. I can almost feel you walking.
The kids are just doing some painting. I'm gonna have my breakfast really quick before I do a little bit of work. I've just got some of the Oikos 000 vanilla yogurt, some granola, strawberries, and then like a package of this like Planters mixed nuts. I think it's like the wholesome blend. Got my prenatals. Oh no, my other vitamin. Vitamin D, just stuck on the yogurt, and then my probiotic.
Distance, but I know that it's not reality. If you are echoing around inside these parallel dimensions all alone, no, I'll find you.
Vlog. So it has been a hot minute since I have vlogged. It's been quite a while, and the main reason being is because mostly when I was vlogging before, I was vlogging a lot about fitness and health stuff, and I love that, and I still am doing fitness. I'm still a fitness trainer, but it's just not, it was just really hard for me to like keep vlogging about that kind of stuff, I guess. I don't know. So if you are a previous subscriber, thanks for hanging out, thanks for sticking with, but the videos are gonna be more about like mom life and just my life in general, and I just enjoy vlogging just day to day, really, like not about anything specific, you know. So with that being said, so today I wanted to talk to you guys about my pregnancy story, which has been kind of a traumatic one. I am pregnant. I am 7 months, 28, almost 29 weeks now. It is July, and I am due September 28th with our third, and it is a girl. And I am gonna announce her name in this video as well. It's really exciting. We haven't announced her name yet. So, but I did wanna just make a video and talk about like my experience with this pregnancy, and I've been wanting to vlog about my pregnancy, but I haven't gotten around to it. I put it off because honestly, the beginning of the pregnancy was so traumatic that it's really hard to reflect and relive hard times, you know, regardless of what it is in your life. And the beginning of this pregnancy was definitely hard, and if you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you know that it has been a rough road to get here. So, but I did want to talk and open up about having Hyperemesis Gravidarum, HG for short, and talk about that because I've connected with a lot of women recently on Instagram specifically, but people are finding me on Facebook and getting referred to me through like, you know, me just talking about it, and I just thought it would be really great to vlog and talk about my pregnancy story as it relates to hyperemesis. This is my third pregnancy. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. I had hyperemesis with my first pregnancy, very, very bad. And I didn't know what it was at that point, right? Like, you just think you have morning sickness, and you don't, there's not a lot of preventative care when it comes to HG. So when you go into the OB for your first appointment, they don't screen you, they don't ask you, I mean, they didn't ask me if I was nauseous. They didn't ask me if I was experiencing any of those symptoms. And so when it was my first pregnancy, I didn't know. I didn't know what to expect at all. And so when it took a turn for the worse, and when I say worse, hyperemesis is not morning sickness. There is a distinct difference between the two. Morning sickness can be classified as you have bouts of nausea, bouts of vomiting. You also have bouts of time where you can eat and you can drink, and it can be really severe. Hyperemesis, however, is a constant, unending nausea and or vomiting that leads to weight loss, dehydration, electrolyte imbalances, and it's just very, very debilitating. It is not morning sickness. Hyperemesis is morning sickness on crack. It is just not even, it shouldn't even be in the same category as morning sickness. Hyperemesis is very serious, and it can range from mild to severe, and I had it severely with my first pregnancy, moderately with my second, which was my son, and then severely again with this pregnancy. So with both of my girls, it has been the worst. And I will say this time has been the absolute worst, probably more so because I have 2 children already to take care of, and I had a job, and I just had so much going on that I had to halt my whole life. So anyway, when I was pregnant with my first, I had no idea what this was, and at 12 weeks I had been vomiting profusely for weeks, and they just kept telling me to eat popsicles, which is really stupid advice for a woman that has hyperemesis, but they weren't even calling it that, and I didn't know that's what I had the first time around. I just thought I was sick. I thought I had the flu at first until it didn't go away. And so by week 12 of my first pregnancy, I was hospitalized. I passed out in my OB office, and so then they were like, she's telling the truth. And I was hospitalized. I got fluids and medicine via an IV, and it was really rough. So I had my second pregnancy with my son, and it was not as bad, but the OB I had with that pregnancy, they were so amazing that she just immediately took amazing care of me. And if you're in the Chicago, Naperville area and you're pregnant, I recommend seeing Dr. Wright at the Wright Center for Women's Health, because she's amazing and attentive, and it is a luxury OB service, but it was worth every single penny. I found out I was pregnant at like week 5, like after you miss your period. I was a full week late and was totally convinced that I wasn't pregnant. I had like several personal training sessions that week. I taught 6 classes because I am a fitness instructor, and I just thought my body was stressed and tired. I did not think I was pregnant. And my husband was like, just humor me and go take a pregnancy test. And so I did. And I walked out of the bathroom looking down at the test, and I was like, honey, and he like literally shot up in bed, and he was like, oh my God. So that was like week 5, week 6. And then by week 7, I was having nausea. It wasn't all the time. I could still eat. It was just a kind of a nagging nausea. But by week 8 and 9, it was so bad that I had to quit my job that I had. I was teaching fitness classes and I was personal training. I had to quit both. I was at 2 different gyms. Had to quit them both. And it was really hard. From week 9, 10, and 11, it just got so bad I was bedridden. And then week 11 is when the vomiting started. And when I say like it was bad, 24/7 nausea, to the point where I could not drink water. Like the taste of water would make me gag and retch. I was gagging a lot, and something that can happen in hyperemesis is you're not even necessarily vomiting, you're just gagging or retching as they call it. I know that that's a lot of information, but if you're a mama that's struggling with this, maybe this can help you. I was doing that and I couldn't eat. So at week 11, I remember like it was a Sunday, my husband took the kids to like the children's museum, and I was just so sad that I couldn't do anything. I had been in bed all week, and I started puking like around 11 o'clock that morning, and by 5 o'clock that evening, I could not stop. Like I was laying on the floor with towels. I couldn't even make it to the bathroom. Just getting profusely sick. Like there wasn't even anything left in my stomach. And so I called my mom, and I was like, I need to go to the ER. Like I can't wait anymore. So I went to the ER, and they were really sweet there. Super, super nice. They immediately like got me hooked up to fluids and Zofran through an IV, which Zofran is an anti-emic, however you say it, anti-nausea, anti-sickness medicine. So I got that through an IV, and it did help, but I was just so weak that I was just so out of it. I could hardly walk. It was really rough. So like the week 11 was the hardest this time. And I got my fluids, and I think they gave me 2 liters of fluids, and I felt a lot better, but still just so exhausted and so thirsty. And I could, like the sound of water would make me want to throw up. Like I did not like, and I am someone who loves to drink water. I have 3 huge water bottles sitting on my desk, and I couldn't drink water. I had to drink like Powerade or Gatorade, and even that, just my stomach couldn't handle it. It was awful. So week 12, 13, 14, I was still bedridden. I wasn't puking anymore, but I was on medication around the clock. And it took me a little while to kind of figure out what medicines worked for me. I took a combination of Zofran, which is a dissolvable tablet, Phenergan, which is, it makes you really drowsy, but it was literally the only thing that that would knock it down enough for me to be able to drink or like eat something. But what it was like crackers, white bread, sweet potato, like just very simple little things. Like I could not eat a lot at all. Couldn't drink a lot at all. Because if I drank a lot or chugged anything, it would just come right back up. Up until like week 16, I would say up until almost 18 weeks, I was in bed. My husband had to take my daughter to school and pick her up most days. Sometimes I could muster the strength. It was so hard on everyone. My son, who is 3, we had his 3rd birthday party, and it was like all I could do to get through that dang birthday party. And I felt so bad. Like I literally could not hardly get out of bed. And my kids, you know, they are really great, and they would just, you know, we got into this routine where they would come in here and we would turn on the TV and they would do a lot of their stuff in here with me in bed. And it was really rough on everyone. It was rough on my husband having to work, and he works insane amount. He owns his own business, so he works a shit ton. And it was really hard on everybody. It was so traumatic. I was really depressed. I was angry. I was resentful of like other pregnant women that were like happy, and it was just really hard. It was the hardest thing I've ever had to go through, honestly. Mentally, like having to miss out time with my kids, with my husband, and my life was really excruciating. And just being in bed every day, I mean, it's just no way to live. So around week 20 is when the symptoms started to let up, and I started to be able to eat again. I was on medicine around the clock, and I tried everything. Finally, what worked the best for me medication wise was I would wake up 7 or 8 o'clock and take a Zofran, and then 3 hours later I would take a Phenergan, and then 3 hours after that I would take a Zofran, and then 3 hours after that I would take another Phenergan. So I was on medicine around the clock. Luckily, and I know that not all women who have hyperemesis experience this, I could sleep through the night without getting sick. And it might have been because of the Phenergan, it just would knock me out. So I was able to get relief at night by at least being able to sleep, but I had to be on medication around the clock during the day, and I was just a zombie because Phenergan makes you extremely drowsy. And so I couldn't drive for like 2 months. And when I did drive, I was so paranoid because I felt like everything was spinning, and that made me not want to drive. And so it was an extremely challenging experience, and I was not happy. I didn't want to be pregnant anymore, and I wasn't enjoying it, and I was so mad. Like I would sit and cry and tell my husband how mad I was that like I couldn't be happy being pregnant, because there's so many women in this world that can't get pregnant for whatever reason. They're struggling with their fertility, or they just can't. And I am here able to get pregnant very easily, but then it's just excruciating. And so it was really, really hard. It felt like forever. And finally around like week 23 and 24, I was able to wean off of all of my medicine. I did it a little bit at a time. Honestly, the Phenergan was the first one I weaned off of because it made me so tired. And then I would take the Zofran still have bouts of nausea, but nothing like what it was before. And now I am almost 29 weeks tomorrow, and I'm not on any medication. I occasionally take like a Zofran or like a Benadryl if I'm like really, you know, having a really rough day, but most of the time I can like get through it and it's manageable. I have had to change my diet quite a bit because I actually had a scare a few weeks ago that I thought I was in labor, and I was in excruciating abdominal pain. So I've been on a modified diet and I've been limiting dairy, limiting gluten, limiting like artificial sweeteners and sugars, and just basically eating like super clean, which has been hard. All I want is Twizzlers and tacos. But I am thankful that I'm able to eat again. I'm able to drink water again. Like, I gotten to that point where, you know, I have the bouts of nausea, and I have like what I call the HG headaches. So like after being super dehydrated, you just get headaches, and you just have headaches forever, it felt like. And so a lot of that has weaned down, and I've tapered down, and I'm, you know, able to function, and I'm able to be with my kids. And now I want to do everything with them because I felt like I missed so much. But the really nice thing, like the silver lining of the story, is that, you know, I feel really happy right now. And finally, by like week 25, week 26, I actually felt like I could enjoy my second trimester, like that honeymoon phase of pregnancy that you're supposed to have. Like, I've definitely been experiencing a lot of that, and you guys can see that on like Instagram, like buying cute clothes and like enjoying the baby bump, and enjoying like her moving and the kids bonding with her, and just feeling like a cute pregnant lady, which I've never felt like a cute pregnant lady when I was pregnant before. I got maternity photos taken, and so it's been a really long road, but I'm finally to a place where I feel happy to be pregnant. That's been my experience with hyperemesis, and I had to fight a lot with, you know, insurance for medications, to cover medications. I had to talk a lot to the nurses. I had to call my OB office a lot. I had to really advocate for myself. Luckily, the nurse at my OB office, she's amazing, and she knows what hyperemesis is. She understands she knows the treatment protocols, and they have several different treatment protocols in place. So if you're in Columbus and you go there and you are experiencing this, like, if something's not working, you need to tell her, because there's another protocol in place they follow. And the doctors have been really great too. So you have to make those decisions for yourself, and you have to, you know, rally. Either, like for me, my mom has been really great through all of my pregnancies, and she's the one that advocated for me the first time around, and being like, okay, this isn't normal. I was pregnant with 3 kids, I'd never had this. And, you know, she really pushed for me to get treatment. And so you need to have someone on your side like that. If your spouse doesn't understand, if your friends don't understand, you need to find someone that understands and have them help you advocate for yourself. Or you have to advocate for yourself and not be scared to do it, because it's your health and it's your well-being. Even though people like to say, oh, it's only temporary, like when you have something as severe as hyperemesis, it feels like it's permanent. It doesn't feel temporary. So it can be, well, that's why I say it's traumatic pregnancy story, because it feels traumatizing. There's a lot of postpartum or post-traumatic stress that goes into that. And if you follow a lot of the accounts on Instagram, they talk about what kind of post-traumatic stress things to look out for if you've had hyperemesis, and like how to deal with those. You know, some women have hyperemesis all the way until they deliver and after, which is a nightmare. But luckily I don't. I've been able to kind of come out on the other side of that. But that doesn't mean that everybody does. No two cases are the same. And if you are struggling with it, just know, like, you're not alone. I understand how debilitating it feels and how depressed you feel. And it's eventually going to get better. Even if we don't know when, eventually you'll get to the other side. And just keep holding on to that, and keep fighting for yourself and advocating for yourself, whatever it is you need. You know, there's no shame in also saying, like, you can't do this again. There's absolutely no shame in that. So I'm completely supportive of whatever a mother wants to do. But yeah, so that's my pregnancy story. Again, I'm 29 weeks, and so I go in for my glucose test on Monday, which is also the day we're supposed to close on our new house. Yay! And so lots of exciting things happening, and I'll take you guys along to that doctor visit and vlog that too. But yeah, that's my pregnancy story. That's what's been going on up until now. It's been a long road, but we're here. We're at 29 weeks, and I can't wait to share the rest of this journey with you guys. And if you're a pregnant mommy, or you're a mom, or you are a mom that wants to get pregnant, or you want to be pregnant but you're not a mom yet, so excited that you watched this video. And comment below and tell me who you are and where you're from and how you found me. and just really excited to get to do this again and like share things and just be a real person, and that's what I am. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up so that I know, and I will see you guys next time. Okay guys, so I am finally done with the name sign for the baby, so I will show you.